What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. I might actually start rethinking about saying, I might change that up. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I change it up, we got to welcome my guy, Nick. Nick, how's everything with you, bro?
Everything's going good, brother. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain. You know, my Panthers are looking not as trash as I thought we were going to. So that's always nice. But we're still not looking the best, though. So, you know, we can always improve, but we have been improving. So everything's good with you said, though?
Man, everything's going good. Can't complain. Excited to be here today. I mean, obviously, I'm in bliss. You know, you see my Steelers. They was winning before they got a quarterback. So, you know, things is looking up. Can't complain.
He might be smiling a little bit more than I will on today's show. Because we talking football primarily. So let's see what happens. We might try to sneak some hoops in there because it is called Get a Bucket, right? But let's go ahead and get on into the show. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a bet. Let's go ahead and start it off.
DC the beat man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I swear it is feeling a little weird. I don't have my basketball right here, just chilling, but I got my pillows. So I'm gonna rock with my Panthers, you know what I'm saying? Now, this quarter is about expectations. Now, y'all know my expectations for my boys. I mean, I love them, you know what I'm saying? But I thought we was gonna be trash. Yeah, I thought we was gonna be trash because that's what everybody else was saying. And then, you know, we was number one and we done some stupid stuff. That's my expectations, right? Mm-hmm. But they done heard that before. You're a Steelers fan.
That I am.
And then you also said some interesting things about Colorado. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to use them as examples along with possibly my Panthers. I might sneak in some basketball, but we'll see what happens. But with the Steelers, just remind us again, what was your expectations for your Steelers at the beginning of the season?
I believe that this would be a rebuilding year, right? Like, coming into this new era of Omar Khan, you know, the Steelers have so much more potential in terms of just writing a new script on the standard Steeler way of just going linebacker heavy, defensive line heavy, wide receiver heavy, not really attacking free agency. You know, Omar Khan came in and flipped that whole script upside down, right? These 2 years we've done more in an off season than we did in the last 20, right, with Kevin Colbert. So I think my expectation was more of a rebuild, right? Maybe a first round bye, or maybe a first round exit, you know. But nothing to the extent that I've seen so far, right?
Okay.
I've seen us have some pretty pivotal wins, a couple pretty embarrassing losses, but mostly wins. I thought our team was humming under Justin Fields, but those games were a little too close for comfort, right?
Needed a little extra veteran presence
We needed a little extra veteran presence, and who else other than Mr. Danger himself comes in and provides just, to me, you know, what we needed was somebody who, with an accurate deep ball, who could get the ball to George Pickens down the field and also utilize the speed of Calvin Austin.
Facts.
Now look what happened. You know what I'm saying? So we've looked dominant. I think we're gonna continue to look dominant. So they're definitely exceeding my expectations if you're thinking about that, Trey.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that they exceeded your expectations. Because I wanted to use them as that example of exceeding expectations, right? Because we've already used an example of, I guess, a team. I guess my team is underperforming still. I'm sorry, I got called spade a spade. Like I'm sorry, like we still trash. You know, we show heart a little bit, but yeah, we still trash at the end of the day. But another team, right, that has kind of exceeded expectations.
Well,
would be Colorado. You said at the beginning of the season, brother, they won't go win about 5 games. That's tough. Now I'll give you this. I can't ladies and gentlemen, I can't definitively say that I was putting Colorado in the playoffs. I felt like they had a shot though. But to be fair, I'm also an optimistic person. But you, sir, said not at all. Only in 5 games. And it seems like they have exceeded expectations.
All right.
Can they get to the playoffs now?
So there's a big stretch between exceeding my 5-game expectation and making the playoff.
Okay.
Now, mind you, Coach Prime, I figured he'd be mad at me after the last time I was on here. I will admit when I'm wrong. You really trained them boys up, and you made a lot of corrections this season. Because that Nebraska game, I was like, see, I told you. You know what I'm saying? But since then, they've actually gotten better and better each week in terms of playing a complete football game. And I don't know what Warren Sapp's giving them kids on the D-line, but they look very different now than they did at the beginning of the year. So I would say that, I'll eat my words. They're very much exceeding my expectations.
Okay.
If the expectation is making the playoff, though, getting into that bracket of the college football playoff, a bowl game, a pretty good bowl game, yes, I can see that happening now.
Okay.
But the college football playoff,
it's a different breed.
That's a different breed.
Okay.
And I think when they're playing competition like on Oregon or even a Texas, still, they're gonna come across some
Texas look good, so I get you.
Some real stalls at that point.
Okay. Now, in terms of expectations, we've had expectations of Deion coming to the college game, doing pretty well. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's prime time, right? Like, that's his nickname, you know what I'm saying? He's built for this, it seems like. So has he exceeded your expectations as a coach?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, Deion Sanders, what he embodies is a community-driven effect. He's doing, I don't know if you guys remember when you would play like Madden or NCAA and you could pick the type of coach you were going to be.
Okay.
And you're either going to be like a draft-heavy coach, a strategy coach, or a player's coach. Deion Sanders is a player's coach. This is a dude who played the game, has the respect of the kids because he played the game at a high level, and proves time and time again, personality-wise, that he knows what he wants and he's not going to hold his words back. He's going to say what he thinks and think what he says. You know what I'm saying? So he came in and he's like, I'm going to turn this program around. And he's turned the program around in a way where, yes, on the field, are they yielding an undefeated season? No. Are they leaps and bounds better than they've been since, they had a Heisman winner in their backfield? Yes. They're getting there. And they've revitalized the community around them. The state of Colorado itself, gross, tax, before tax, net revenue of the state has increased. The property values around Boulder have gone up astronomically. I mean, his impact on the community is vast, so he's definitely exceeded my expectations.
I love that you said he impacted the community. Because I'm asking about Deion, because there's expectations that this man about to leave and go to the NFL and try to coach his son if possible. So it sounds like you might be on board with that man doing that then. Like soon? Is that fair to say? Because I think it's fair to say that the brother gonna leave. Like, Deion, we expecting you to leave, dog. I ain't got no stake in Colorado. I'm gonna call a spade. Bye. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you
I'll wave goodbye. It's crazy.
Hey, goodbye. But like, you think it's fair to say Deion would leave in the next 2 seasons?
I would say, as an NFL owner, knowing the business that the NFL is, there's a lot of upside to bringing in someone like Deion Sanders.
There is.
As well as the fact that now he's got, some of the best minds in the history of football on his staff. I mean, he's going to bring them with him wherever he goes. I think that there's definitely some merit to that. I don't think he's ready yet. I'm sorry, Deion. I just apologize, and now I'm coming right back to making it sound like I'm dogging you. But I do think I'd like to see you succeed more at the college level before you made that jump, right? Just the accolades wise, right? Like, do what you did to Jackson State for Colorado, take them through a perfect season, win a bowl, win it all. I'm rooting for you, man. But once you do that, then you can make that jump. So I give him more like 4 or 5 years.
I think that's fair. Fair. I mean, I I think a lot of times we expect, whether it's coaches, players, whatever, we expect them to do X, Y, and Z, and we don't give them time. I think a lot of time, even with teams, we expect teams to do X, Y, and Z, but they don't, and we're impatient as a society. So I would like to see him get a little bit more time, because maybe we could be rushing Dion to the NFL. Like, there's no necessary need to have prime time premature. You know what I'm saying? So, but ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately the buzzer did go off. Y'all know how this go. We got to pay bills, right? But when we come back though, we do got some more sports to talk about. We got some more sports to talk about. So we'll be back after a moment from our sponsors. Hair Talk. Hair Talk.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events regardless of visual impairments.
Whatever. We're just gonna start it off just like that.
Whatever.
And obviously, so we are on a live show. You know what I'm saying? This is live recorded. There are people in the background. That's right. We got an audience. So if you accidentally see somebody getting up and plugging their phone into the outlet, that's our bad. But we are back. We are back, right? Now, y'all, again, I'm a Panthers fan. North Carolina Center, right? This is Panthers, in case y'all was wondering. And I bring all that up. I understand we trash. But I made a video saying that we should have picked someone like Anthony Richardson.
Yes. You were gung-ho about him. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And I'm starting to get a little concerned about his trajectory, right? So that kind of made me think about, because I consider him like a physical freak of nature athlete.
Yes.
So that makes me think, when do you start actually having concerns for the future of those physical freak of nature athletes? Thinking even in basketball terms, right? We can think of Wemby. We can think of Zion. There are concerns of health. We talked about, or people were saying how Zion needs to shed weight because you can't have that type of weight moving that fast and changing pace and all this other stuff. Wemby. All right, what if he gets injured? Blah, 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 blah. When do you start actually believing the concerns of the physical freak of nature athletes?
So I wouldn't even say, because Wemby, he kind of made it through, and he's killing it right now.
Right.
So what about Greg Odom? Let's bring him into it. Right? You want to talk about like players who had potential freakness, the kind of skill where you're like, this man, Ben Simmons, where you're like, this man has a drive to him to where, like, if I can somehow get him to get the potential out, even though he hasn't shown it yet, what I envision would be something no one has ever seen, right? Now, what concerned me was the tap out. That was a red flag for me. When Anthony Richardson in the last game called a tap out on a third down play because he was tired. His excuse, I'm tired. When Zion Williamson, sits on the bench, and next thing you know, he's coming in March looking like a ham hock, right? Yeah. When Greg Odom was...
Greg's was injury, though.
But still tough.
But
the checkout, that's the thing that gets me. It's a player who has this potential who starts to themselves not see it anymore.
Okay.
So they check out.
Okay.
That's the red flag for me.
Now, typically, when do you think that happens, though? Because, we're talking about Anthony Richardson, for example. We're talking about year 2 now.
Yeah.
Greg Oden, it was injuries. And granted, Anthony Richardson had concussion last year. He got concussed this year, too, right?
He got concussed. It was a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he had a hip injury or something like that. He's been banged up. He's been banged up.
Yeah.
Does that lead into does that factor into maybe him checking out mentally, or because maybe he's still dealing with those injuries and trying to get over that hump?
Well, I mean, why did Andrew Luck retire? Right, the history of injuries. Eventually, it doesn't become fun anymore.
Yeah,
you'll just be sitting there hurt time and time again. And everybody's clock is different. Nobody's the same. How many people have retired early due to injury concerns? How many people have played their whole careers and then 30 years down the line lost their mind?
Yeah.
Football is a scary sport. It's gladiators out there. I think at a certain point they take their own mental and physical health into account when making those important decisions. So Anthony Richardson is at a crossroads that a lot of players find themselves in, where you had all these expectations and you're just not meeting them. Let's be simple about it.
Now, is 2 years a fair time length to assess that player? Because I'm asking from a... Oh, I'm sorry. I got something on my. Because I told you we doing 3 years. I said 3, and Bryce ain't a physical freak of nature. To me, when I look at Anthony Richardson, I'm thinking we got to scheme, and I told you we got to scheme him to get to him to where I want him to be.
Okay.
In basketball, for example, I'm comfortable giving a physical freak of nature 4 to 5 seasons to show me, okay, this is you got it now. You realize you're head and shoulders above everybody else, so we can dominate this way. Because once you get that, we can build around you comfortably.
Yes.
In theory.
So a lot easier in basketball.
But that's what I was going to ask, because it's different in football than it is basketball. So is 2 years a comfortable time length for you personally?
For a quarterback, no.
Okay.
But we're living in an era where no team has patience. Not unless you have a foundation. So a team like the Steelers, a team like, the Ravens.
Right.
I keep bringing up AFC North, but we're just talking about teams that have been consistently superior. A team like, the Packers, right? And what they're able to do in terms of just being able to sit there and allow a quarterback to develop, and then taking that quarterback, installing them in a plan, and it working, right? That's been a system that's been tried and true, right? And the franchises that can pull it off, great, right? You have that system in place. You haven't had to fix it. The franchises that haven't figured that out, they don't have that time, the luxury of that time, right?
That's
so as much as I want to say yes, Anthony Richardson, we should give him 3-4 years to figure it out. Year 2, he's barely played, and he looks to have regressed in the passing game. Is a little concerning, for most. I can't imagine being a Colts fan right now.
That's tough.
I think that if I'm going to compare him to anybody, I would say in terms of just experience, lack of exposure, promise, Trey Lance, another one, right? That's a kid who John Lynch was all gung-ho about. Let me trade away all of this draft capital, basically our team's future, right, for this kid, because he is the future, only to then find out that he was injury-prone and underdeveloped. And how quickly did they give up on that?
Yeah, pretty quickly.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
Less than 2 seasons. So this is the crosshair we're at now. Why Dave Canales bench your quarterback?
I thought that was a confidence thing, because he's not a physical freak of nature athlete. He's just an average cat.
Which I understand, but in terms of his ability to lead a team, he was drafted over all these physical freaks because
For that
he was a
reason.
freak here.
Supposedly.
So the
yeah.
minute that was in question, it was like, we got to keep this train moving because you're coming from a point where you don't have that foundation.
Yeah.
So really it starts at the level of how we go about scouting quarterbacks, scouting in these important positions.
That's
you
so
know,
tough. That's
and
so tough.
It's
That's
tough.
Cause,
It's not easy. That's why they make millions of dollars doing it.
Yeah, because again, I told y'all I'm giving Bryce 3 seasons because you gotta show progression. Because again, I know what we have.
Yeah.
Not much. Like, we got some good offensive weapons right now. Defense is but we haven't been able to put it all together yet.
Sure.
So, and we got to get the cohesion once we do. So it's like,
And you traded away the only consistent receiver he's had so far this year.
yeah, no, we done a good job at trying to replace DJ. I will say that because I do think I'm not trying to like belittle like our top wide receiver at one point, but wide receivers are replaceable. Like
Yes.
Stephon Diggs was replaceable. Like even Travis Kelce is replaceable. So like we can replace people. And I think that's what we've been doing. Now, it's going to be tough to replace someone like Travis Kelce, but I'm saying you can eventually find people who can do what
they can do.
Exactly. So I think for that, again, knowing what we gave Bryce Young, I thought 3 seasons is comfortable, is fair to assess him. But it's been 2 seasons long, and we're not even finished with season 2. And I'm like, damn, like Brady did get benched kind of early. So I do hear you. It's a quick, like I said, I like to be fair, optimistic, but that's not the rest of the world. So it's unfortunate. It's also unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, because the buzzer did just go off. But it's okay because y'all get to see the wonderful commercials that I put together. So we'll be right back after a moment for my sponsors.
Swanky's Construction serves as the general contractor in the metropolitan D.C. area. We're a team of certified professionals who tackle everything from complex large projects to smaller scale jobs. Fueled by our commitment to excellence, we go the extra mile to make sure clients are completely satisfied with our work. Swanky's Construction takes pride in ensuring our clients' home improvement needs are met with efficiency, precision, and perfection. Call us today. You're only seconds away from a consultation or in-person walkthrough. Hooping is an activity that can be enjoyed by all. It's a team game about getting and stopping buckets. Everyone's always rushing to the goal. Well, make sure to rush and watch Team Gold Rush, one of the best teams in the Special Olympics of Virginia. Team Gold Rush even has former NBA All-Star participants on the team. Clearly, they've struck gold. Ready to suit up and practice? I know. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice still makes perfect. So when the opponent starts hitting their shots, Team Gold Rush can bounce back due to their training. Remember, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Watch us get a bucket and rush for the gold. We aim to be that gold standard. So want a team where you can win and have fun? Team Gold Rush is your number one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Listen, we got to talk about rookies and vets, right? Everybody got roles, whether it's basketball, football, all sports, they got roles. Hell, even on the show, host, participant, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got roles.
I would prefer esteemed guest.
Yeah, okay, esteemed guest. We'll go with that. We'll go esteemed guest, right? So, with rookies and vets, it's a tricky little balance. Let's use Wemby as an example. Wemby and Caitlin Clark, right?
Sure.
I think these are 2-star rookies. Wemby was last season. Caitlin this past season as well. Is it easy for a vet to play alongside that rookie, knowing that that rookie has the keys to the kingdom? Do you think it would be easy?
Personally, as a human being, no, can't imagine. I mean, and I say that because, you know, we're human. We have ego. It's natural. Now, in all realisticness, that was not a word. Um, if you are somebody who owns a franchise, you want to surround this new ruler of yours with the right pieces, right? If you're playing chess, what are the right things I need to surround my king with, right? Now, with that in mind, you have to be very, very, very honest with the kind of vets you want on your team and the kind of egos that are going to be around that player. So,
Yeah.
if you're the GM for the Fever and the Spurs, what you want are players who are perfectly comfortable being in those supporting roles, who are perfectly comfortable supporting a team and having we're trying to win, who are going to be excited that they have a kid that they can give the ball to and is going to be like, put the team on their back, you know, in crunch time.
Do you sign a vet and just force them to try and get along, or do you go and select a person and tell them what's up initially? Because I do think there is some benefit to having players kind of figure it out, and maybe they gain respect amongst one another, right? Because, okay, this person might not like this person, but you can at least respect how they come across for their craft. Is that a fair stance to take, or do you think it's better to just be on the up and up?
See. For last year, the Spurs really didn't show much promise as a franchise overall until about halfway through the season. They started showing some breath, right? Even with Wemby, right? So who'd they go out and get?
Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. Like, they got a couple
veterans who are from winning situations, who understand what it takes to win, and who are perfectly fine not being the number one. So what they do is they come in and they guide a team towards that winning mindset because they're leaders, not necessarily statistically, because that's going to fall to that kid that they brought in and saying this is the stalwart.
But see, do we rob the team of potential greatness? Because let's say I get someone who feels they should be a number one, right? And they're coming in and battling Wemby. Now you got somebody pushing you. Is that fair to say? Because I get the notion that Chris Paul is going to help out Wemby, and I'm a fan of Chris Paul being on the Spurs. By the way, I'm not trying to say this is a bad signing.
No.
What happens though if maybe? I'm just throwing this out there, but like, let's say they could have got Giannis instead. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Giannis can challenge Wemby for that number one spot and push Wemby to be a little bit better. When again, Giannis wasn't available.
No, understood.
Like someone that can maybe challenge him, because again, Wemby's still young right now, so you can get the better Wemby right now. You can. Is that fair to do, or is it better just to find vets to complement him?
I would say finding a vet. I would say we talk about building a team. You need all those personalities. It's not just either you need a veteran who's going to challenge but you need veterans who are going to do both. You need a veteran who's going to teach him how to be a good leader. You need a veteran who's going to teach him how to challenge himself and compete into what he needs to do as a player himself to better himself. Maybe not even so much in person, but by example. Julian Edelman talks a lot about how Wes Welker wasn't very nice to him, or Randy Moss. You know, when he first got in the league, they were kind of dicks because they were like, at the end of the day, you're fighting for my spot, dog. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and make you better. I'm not gonna teach you these things. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Randy would have him watching his jockstrap, and Wes Welker was like, "You're coming from my, patented Bill Belichick white boy over the middle spot, and I'm not gonna let you take that." You know what I'm saying? And he fought him every day in practice. So you need both of those types of people who are gonna teach him, because at the same time he talks about how Tom was the leader, the one who did teach him how to survive in the league and how to, and kind of shepherded him once he saw the talent. Okay. So you need all of those roles. It's not really it's more so creating an environment where you allow all of those roles to thrive. So that falls more on a team than anything else.
Okay, yeah.
That's where the Commanders are at a point right now, right? Really a penultimate point where their franchise can either turn a corner or fall right back into classic Commanders route. And that's because they have the Mike Sainristills, they have the Jaden Daniels, they have the Newtons, they have these new rookies who are coming in and showing that they have potential to be focal points for their franchise. And how are Marcus Mariota responding to that?
Yeah.
Versus how is Terry McLaurin responding to that? Versus how are some of these players, Benjamin St. Just, who aren't, maybe are struggling and want to save their spot. How are you fostering an environment of competitiveness?
Yeah.
But it's also team forward.
Okay. Nah, I feel that. I like my team to battle it out because I know it kind of makes you a little bit closer, right? But I also think too, like you said, you gotta manage things properly. You don't want to have too much chaos because already on a team, everybody wants to be a star. Like everybody grows up wanting to be the guy or whatever. And you got to have people comfortable accepting these sort of roles.
Yeah.
So getting a vet who's, been here before, they might accept, they might take this role as, I failed, right? And you want this guy to replace me? Like, where? Like, that's an ego that people got to get over. And again, like you said earlier, we're human too. So it's always fun seeing the pairings between new rookies and rookies and vets and how they end up meshing together. I always enjoy those because it's a new pairing every season, and I want to see if people actually get it right. For example, Paul George, I think he's going to play with Brandon Miller later on because that's who Brandon Miller looked up to. So it's going to be a similar thing with like Kevin Durant and Anthony Edwards. Yeah, that's going to be even though they're not rookies, but like they're the young stars. It still applies. The same thing applies to them. Like you want to see those good pairings eventually because they'll be able to help lead those new rookies, those young stars who are supposed to be carrying that franchise into, I guess, greatness.
I mean, I'll be honest. Watching the way that Anthony Davis has kind of gotten behind LeBron a little bit.
Edwards.
No. I'm talking about Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the Lakers. And seeing how he's kind of followed behind him. He's kind of been hooping in a way that's more aligned with that game because he's learned a little more finesse having watched LeBron. Something where he can see himself kind of stretching out that
game, but I mean that's another discussion for another day. Saying. Y'all know how I feel.
Look at that. Okay.
See, buzzer done gone off. That's what I just. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back. We got apparently some Brown conversations to have offline real quick. I ain't gonna hold y'all. These conversations go for a minute. So we'll be back after a moment from our sponsors.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the Titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers,
coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Listen. So I said some interesting things apparently on the show. Well, off the show, but I got to say them now on the show. See what y'all think and get his reaction on camera. So I still think that the Jets have a shot at making it to the Super Bowl. And, hear me out, too, because the last time we saw Aaron Rodgers have top 10 defense, he did go to the Super Bowl. And he does have 2 talented wide receivers and a competent running back. If everybody healthy, by my estimation, we a tight end away from a dynasty. Like a young tight end away from a dynasty. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they can get everybody to come back and shine and stay healthy. Can the Jets pull it around? Like, can they turn it around?
I don't even want to go there, but okay. So you said young tight away from the dynasty.
I mean,
and then so the irony of them pulling a Jets type move and not taking Brock Bowers in the draft, pretty interesting, huh? Just saying, if you're gonna go off history and try to
we could have
do stuff,
we could have stuck with the Super Bowl combo.
Look.
Like, if they missed out on somebody, they missed out on somebody. Things happen. Things happen. You can get a young tight end to go to the squad. At some point.
Because I'm sure Denver's going. Yeah, if we missed out on Shannon Sharp, we missed out on Shannon Sharp. It's all good though.
It's cool. Hey. For 5 rounds, a lot of people were saying, hey, if we miss out on Tom Brady, we just miss out on Tom Brady. It happens. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I guess. So Jets is a no-go for you then. There's really no optimism at all.
No.
Damn, that's tough. Is it because of the situation? Is it because I know what is it? Damn, because I can't think why can't they turn it around? They just beat a good team not too long ago.
Because to me, the Jets' biggest problem is that they can't seem to get out of their own way. And until I see them figure that out, and it starts at the front office level, starts with Woody, good old Woody. So until Woody figures itself out,
management,
I'm not going to go ahead and say that they can do anything.
That's tough. Because I'm not mad at you. Management usually do. Yeah, they kind of important. But we have seen someone like Aaron Rodgers just say, relax, right? When I look at them, I think they can compete against a team like the Chiefs. And the Chiefs have looked really good. I think if they go up against a team like the Lions, they would fare kind of nicely, and the Lions look really good. It's surprising you don't feel that way about the Jets, that they at least could get to the Super Bowl. Not be a favorite, but at least could. So then who's your favorite outside of Kansas City getting to the Super Bowl? And I'm talking about both NFC and AFC, by the way.
So NFC, I'll start there. I would say, honestly, right now, I'm going to get some shocked value from this one, but
not much.
I would say, for me, it's either the Lions.
Okay.
Or just because of what I'm seeing in terms of the magic that's happening in real time. Give me the Commanders.
Now, you got some shock on that one now.
Yeah, give me the Commanders.
You got some shock on that one. Wow.
So I would say right now, those are the 2 teams that I think have the most promise. Now, in terms of because the NFC is so deadlocked, right? The NFC North is so competitive right now that I think the Lions are the top of that food chain. But I think that it's a very competitive division. Okay. So outside of that division, there's not a lot to really hope for. I think the Eagles are at a point now where they're out thinking themselves. I think the Cowboys are doing cowboy stuff. The Giants are doing giant things. And then, in the NFC West, no team is really distinguishing themselves as having an impact, not even the 49ers. So if you're going to talk about the NFC, right now, I mean, the two teams that are not on that list when I think of teams that have glaring problems, it's the Lions and the Commanders.
Okay. I mean, I can't be mad at that because I thought Eagles would make a lot of promise. Vikings have been cool, but I think ultimately they would lose to the Lions because their defense isn't as good.
Exactly.
So I do hear you. Even the Packers have taken a little step back. AFC then. AFC.
You know who I'm going to pick.
So your boys is really Super Bowl worthy? Over the Ravens?
Black and yellow.
Over the Ravens.
You mean the team that got stomped by Jameis Winston the other day?
I mean the team that got Derrick Henry and is arguably having the best offensive duo in the game. I understand, brother, your defense is stout, but I don't know. Some days the Ravens make me think that y'all might look like us. I'm talking about my Panthers, by the way. Shout out to my boys. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give y'all some love. But we terrible right now. So you really think your boys can beat the Steelers? I mean the Ravens when it's all said and done.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But you don't. Do you? So to be clear, because you said oh yeah.
Sure.
Like, do you give the Kool-Aid man oh yeah to beating the Chiefs too?
I give the. Do you remember those commercials where Terry Crews would do the Old Spice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I give that level of hype.
Okay. All right. That's making stuff interesting.
Because the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, in the AFC, like the Lions right now in the NFC are doing the best all around. Special teams, defense, offense.
Okay.
All phases of the game, they're playing well.
Well, it is a team game.
It's a team game. And people forget about that third aspect. We've blocked like 4 field goals and have a punt return touchdown already.
That does help.
So
that
I'm
does
just
help
saying,
out.
like, we've been playing out, and Chris Boswell is secretly having like his best season as a kicker.
Well, I mean, I will say, brother, as a fantasy football player, Steelers is helping me out greatly. So I greatly appreciate y'all, and I do think y'all have that pedigree to win something. Super Bowl could be a little tough, but we'll see though, because it's a long season. Y'all got some promise. Ravens do too as well. Those are teams that I'm looking at right now, just because, again, offense and defense. Bills, I want to say, but, like, the defense, I have a couple question marks. And then, like, the offense, too, I'm still not completely sold. I still feel like Josh Allen is going to try to do too much. So I'm looking at teams like the Steelers, like the Ravens. I wanted to throw Cincy in there, but I don't know about them. Jets, though, they are my dark horse. I'm sorry. Because, again, it seems like Aaron Rodgers in a solid situation. NFC, yeah, I don't really have much to add on that. Like it's really kind of sad when you think about it. NFC look a little tough this year.
Well, the power of the free agency market can shift an entire conference into being either the more superior or the lesser. And the minute players like Danielle Hunter go to the Texans, and players like Stephon Diggs go to the Texans,
and getting injured,
and all these different players that are maneuvering to different teams.
Yeah.
The minute that happens, a conference can shift from being the one that's playing the best football and the one that's playing the not so best football. And right now, to me, the NFC looks sloppier than the AFC does.
No, it does. But hopefully that tide turns, and hopefully my boys will come out stronger. You know what I'm saying? Get that Super Bowl and finally win that thing. They say third time's the charm. You know what I mean? And I don't know if y'all know this, but 3 does mean Trey, or Trey means 3. So, it sounds about right.
3 could also mean you strike out, but
they do say that. But yeah, we don't have to think like that, I guess. You know what I mean? Let's be more optimistic, like I've tried to portray.
No, yes, and I think that was the overarching theme of this episode: is your optimism and my pessimism. So
most definitely,
most
definitely. But ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard the buzzer. So with that. Unfortunately, we gotta watch some more sports. At least I do. That's what I usually do after the episodes. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Nick, I don't know what you do. You don't gotta go home You don't have to get the hell up out of here, actually.
I don't know why.
Say,
That's where I'm going with that. I was like, all right, man.
No, I greatly
I
appreciate
take
you
that
coming.
strikeout thing. That's the vibe.
No, I greatly appreciate you coming on to the show as usual. Always more than welcome to come on. Did you have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
Oh, no, I mean, sorry, Dion, like I said before. So, I don't want to get no hate mail from no Colorado people getting boxes of turds from Boulder. So, I'll be all right. Thank you.
Maybe he'll send you some tickets to watch the game personally.
Now, that would be fun.
Optimism right there. Optimism right there.
That's a good way to silence your critics, Dion. Give me $10,000 in cash. All right.
All right, cool. I guess that's what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I greatly appreciate y'all for taking the time to watch the show. I also appreciate our wonderful audience who might not make it onto camera. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it's the first time we've actually had a live audience. They've actually listened, gave us some feedback, so we greatly appreciate them. Fellas, did y'all have anything y'all want to say before we close up shop?
Yes. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Y'all heard him. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, kid.